forgot to mention my theory as to why the orange one was the orange male is kind of suddenly become scared. It first of all went around um, killing all the male orange ones, and so that there's only females now. But my guess is that because it keeps, I've seen it quite a few times, look somewhere and then just suddenly dash, like it's like just frightened of something, and I wonder if it's frightened of its own reflection. You know, if it's frightened of males and is killing all the males, and I've got a feeling that when it looks in the mirror, it sees a male and gets scared, and that's why it's living in a cave. I mean, is that possible? Is it possible for a fish to be so stupid that every time it sees its own reflection, it thinks that there's another male in the cage and it wants to kill it, and because it can't kill it because it's itself, it spends, I don't know, I've seen it doing it quite a few times. It's just like staring through the glass, and and then I'm feeding, and then suddenly I just see it like dash as fast as it possibly can from one stage to the other. And I've noticed for the last 2 weeks, I've hardly ever seen it. It's always in a cave or in an. I was trying to like get it out the cage, and I lift up the cage. What's wrong? Why are you under there? And then it just went straight into the ship. And then I moved the ship, and it just went straight into the cave. And it was like wherever it would go, it would always hide. And I don't know what's wrong with it, but I don't know when it started doing this, because when that one, before that one had a stroke, that was no problem. That one had a stroke. When that one had a stroke, and it was suddenly just left with the other ones. Okay, four of them had grown, so there are four adults in there, but technically they are his kids. So, but yeah, ever since the ones had the stroke, or maybe it's afraid that it might have a stroke and end up like that. I don't really know. Or maybe it got attacked, and that's the reason how it had a stroke. Maybe it's not a stroke. Maybe it attacked it, and now its back's broken and it can't swim properly. I don't know. But the theories are there's a lot of theories. But I've also noticed that ever since I've taken the males out of the cage, the females don't really do much. They just sort of hover, whereas the males are very, very active. But they are definitely gay because they are all constantly trying to have sex with each other. Not just like play, but they literally, you can see them trying to have sex because there's like a little dick underneath them, and they try and like get it. They stick it upwards and then they try and rub it on the female's body. But yeah, they're doing exactly that to all the males in there. So yeah, I think they're just very horny, and that's just, but they seem actually very, they seem happier when occasionally I've put, as like an experiment, I've taken one of the males from that tank into this tank just to see how they react, and the males actually become a lot more boringer when they're in with the females, but when they're in with the other males, they're actually a lot more active and far more fun.